Hello friends, greeting from Freedom Factory. Today we are going to talk about some very interesting topic, and the name of the topic is Hindu Undivided Family. So Hindu Undivided Family is an independent entity under the Income Tax Act, which means that a person who is an individual Hindu, he can have his individual file as well as he can have another file which is called as a Hindu Undivided Family. So what is a Hindu Undivided Family? The minute a person gets married and has a kid, he automatically becomes a Hindu Undivided Family. It doesn't matter whether he has actually created a file or created an entity out of it. Every Hindu family who has at least one kid automatically is an Hindu Undivided Family. It's like, a child may be born, but if you don't have the birth certificate, so similarly you have to do a certain process to bring that HUF into life or on paper or create it as an entity. Now that can be done. That's a job of a chartered accountant. A chartered accountant will definitely help you to create this entity. So I am not going into the process of how it should be done. The first time you do it, you have to be married and you should have a kid. After that, as soon as the kid gets married, his HUF automatically can be created, and then it goes on and on. So a person can be an HUF within his own family. So if there is a mother, father and children, there will be one HUF which is of the father. The child, once he gets married, he can have another HUF which will be that will be a second HUF between his wife and himself. Similarly, the other kids also can have their own independent HUF in spite of being within the bigger HUF. Now why HUF is important is because in HUF you get all basic exemptions. You get lot of deductions, like you get 80C deduction, you get 80D exemption deduction, you get 80DD exemptions, you get 80DDB exemptions, you get 80G exemption, you get 80TTA exemption, which is bank interest up to 10,000 rupees, you get 80GGA, which is donation for scientific research, and you get 80GGC, which is donation for political parties. So all these additional deductions are also allowed separately to an HUF other than an individual. So an individual can also contribute to a political party, and also the HUF can contribute. The total income will be separate, and obviously the income will get divided, and also the tax liability. But only thing is that the source of income has to be very, very clear. So basically an HUF should have or should be doing a separate kind of a business which is totally separate and distinct from if the individual himself is doing, or if the individual has a partnership firm or a private limited company. HUF can actually be part of a different business. Also trading, an individual who has his own account can also do a trading under the HUF as a separate entity. More details on this you can of course talk to your chartered accountant, or you can talk to Freedom Factory, talk to us, so that we are able to kind of understand and suggest to you whether these the HUF as a separate entity can be applicable for you, and whether you have scope for basically saving more tax by using this vehicle of HUF. And of course you will then have to ask your chartered accountant to get this HUF created, which is a very simple process. You get a PAN card, you have to open an account. Once the account is opened, once you have a PAN card, then automatically it is considered as a separate entity. All income from that is then goes to the HUF account, and then the whole expenses and income and deductions and exemptions are all applicable as per normal rule to the HUF. So basically you can get in touch with the Freedom Factory people here, and we will definitely be able to help you to understand whether you can also take additional benefit out of this entity. Thank you very much.